Hey, have you been so busy with life that you have not heard from God in a while, that your prayer time, your devotional time has been lacking because you're just busy, you just don't have time, you have so much going on? Do you feel like just like your walk has just been funny and it's been a while since you've actually spent QT with God? I want to share a few stats with you in order to help improve your quality time with God, to initiate hearing from God again. So, I want to share five tips on finding a way to hear from God again. So, listen, I don't want you to feel like you're a bad person, horrible person that you know you hear from God in a while, haven't prayed in like 25 days. It happens. I often say that, and people don't like the fact that I say that, but I like being practical and realistic, in which many of us have faced that, where, life is just too much. I like to say the devil has given us this demon of being too busy. And we're looking for him in the sin, in the club, in the cheating on your boyfriend or girlfriend, in the smoking weed. But he's actually in the busyness, because he understands if he can't give you something bad, he will give you too much of something that's good. This is why it's important for us to make God a priority. And he uses that as a way for us to miss out on God and not get instruction from God. And the entire time, our spiritual life is going down and down and lower and lower. So fortunately, being that I've been there before, I've developed a couple of ways to prevent that from happening. And it's so easy for this to happen. Like, in my life, I don't like making excuses. That's the one thing I don't like, making excuses, saying, this is why things are not what they're supposed to be. But oftentimes people have to remind me that, hey, Ron, you got a lot on your plate. You're a full-time dad, full-time husband, full-time pastor. You still got to make ends meet, and find a way to provide, and also be the father figure to many, the big brother, be an uncle, be a nephew, do all of that. But and I often neglect myself. I don't sleep. I was telling my wife yesterday, I was like, I just don't value sleep. I'm able to go through my day with 3-4 hours of sleep, to the point where anything that's more than like 6-7, I get headaches and stuff. I feel weird. So it's actually not a good thing. I'm not proud of that, but that just shows. I think I've been this way since seminary, because early on in my marriage, I decided to pursue my call to be a pastor, and I decided to go to Liberty University and pursue a master's of divinity. So I had an online class on top of what I was going through, being a new husband. Around that time, Noah was born, so I had to become a dad, and raise a son, and etc. And so much other. I still had a ministry where I served that, and also God began to use me as an evangelist and going out to preach the gospel. So I get it, bro. I get that this happens, but I think there's ways for us to prevent it. It's not just enough for us to be aware of something. What are you going to do about it? Too often we are content with identifying issues. We have to also learn how to find ways to fix the issue. So these 5 things that I've applied to my life, and it's helped me out, and I pray it could help you out, in order to hear from God, or to hear from God again, to get back to a relationship with God. This is crucial for us to be able to identify. First step, make it a priority. We have to make hearing from God and spending time with God priority. We have to be very concise with saying, hey, I need to spend time with God, and I'm going to develop a plan to hear from God. I don't care if I got to put everything away and shut down and shut everything down, but I have to hear from God. The danger is we have made hearing from God optional. And what we do is we don't hear from God the entire week. Then we go to Pastor Ron's podcast. We go to church on Sunday, and we expect that it is enough for us to hear from God solely in these places and not spend time with God on our own. The podcast, thank you for the support. I love you guys. Like, subscribe, and share. But it's a great tool. It's a great resource. But it shouldn't be your sole way of eating. Same thing with church. It's a great tool. It's a great resource. But it shouldn't be your only way of eating. And I think one of the things that kind of like clicked in my mind is that I have to pursue God on my own. So the key is to pursue God for yourself and spending time with God on your own daily. So it has to be a priority to you. The same way, and I don't want to hear, oh, Pastor Ron, I'm too busy. Because the same way you guys who are too busy, you close your rings every day, you are at the gym, you are on TikTok, you are on Instagram, you're on YouTube. So you have time for everything else. The issue is not that you don't have time. The issue is that God is not a priority to you. So we have to make hearing from God, speaking to the Lord, a priority. Second is be intentional. One thing I preach in many aspects of my life is being intentional. Things like this do not happen organically. Because A, the devil is active. It's going to prevent you from doing it. B, life is active and it's pretty much preventing you from doing it. So you have to be intentional. Calendar invites, alarms. These things help you become intentional. Write it on your screensaver on your laptop. Just remind you, hey, time with God. Be intentional. This does not happen organically because there are so many barriers for it to happen. Third thing, which kind of leads to being intentional, develop an accountability partner. Find someone in your life that will keep you accountable. That will say, "Yo, listen, did you read your word today? Yo, let's start let's go to the Bible app and start a devotional together." You need that layer of accountability because sometimes you're going to slack off and not want to do it. But that person that keeps you accountable will help you stay at a place where you do what you got to do. Number 4, the fourth thing you need to do is to don't give up. Don't give up. Just restart. To my point, you're going to fall. You're going to mess up. You're going to miss a couple days. But don't let 2 days miss become 20 days miss. Do not quit. Just say, dang, I missed 2 days. I'm going to start right back again. I want to hear from God. I want to spend time with God. It's like a relationship. If you spend 2 or 3 days and not talk to your girlfriend or your boyfriend, are you going to cut them off? No, you're going to be like, yo, this weekend, let's make sure we spend time together. So don't quit, just restart. Just start all over again or just try harder. Don't allow yourself to have a couple of days of inactivity or a few days of inactivity cause you to quit this journey. It's important and crucial for you to hear from God in this season. Number 5, be grateful in humble beginnings. So let's be realistic and practical. Let's not sit here and say, you know what, I'm going to read. I'm going to spend 3 hours before God every single day. I'm going to quit my job and say, I'm going to spend time with God. That's my priority. That's not practical nor realistic for you to go from 0 to 3 hours. But start with 10 minutes a day. That 10 minutes turns to 15 minutes. 15 goes to 45. 45 goes to an hour. So the hardest part is to start. And a lot of times why we don't start is because it has to be so daunting of a task in order for us to do it. But start small, 15 minutes a day. As soon as you wake up, before you check your notifications on your phone, read your word, spend time with God. So embrace the small, because eventually as you're able to better manage the small, then you're able to get to the place of getting greater. It's like going to the gym. A lot of us, we don't want to go to the gym because like, oh my God, I cannot work out like so-and-so. But I'm pretty sure so-and-so did not start where he or she is right now. They gradually started on a treadmill 10 minutes. The 10, after a few weeks, became a half hour. The half hour became running for 60 minutes. It's a process. So be grateful and embrace the humble beginnings and just start. Because the hardest part is beginning. But I cannot emphasize too much the fact that we have to spend time with God. Maybe the reason why you're going crazy is because you're not spending time with God. Maybe the reason why everything just seems chaotic because you don't have the peace of spending time with God. So don't allow being too busy and being caught up too much, being at a place where you can't hear from him. But you have to understand the value of it and necessity of it and make it a priority. These are the steps that could help you out. If you want more information on how, check my podcast, man. Dealing with unbelief, dealing with the truth. These are the things that we have to address, the walk. We've perfected the Sunday, but then the walk that in between, the spending time with God is where we slack. It's easy. We've been going to church all our lives, so we could do it. But then that Monday, we out of church. It's God who? Oh God, I see you again on Sunday. And we don't pray. We don't read the word. Don't spend time at his feet. So I want to emphasize the importance of that. Thank you for listening. I pray that this blesses you. Don't forget to share this with somebody. Share it in your group chat. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I hate to sound cheesy like this, but I'm told I need to say stuff like that more often. But send me feedback. What do you think? Is it realistic? Put some comments and let me know what you think. Thank you for your time. God bless you. I love you. Peace. Take care.